I want to go to John Hoeven, what he makes of this. Of course, you know him, the senator from the beautiful state of North Dakota. And the senator's been warning about this over-reliance on a grid and electricity right now because we might not be up to snuff. And given this pell-mell push, Senator, always good to have you, to get into these vehicles and to incentivize us to get into these vehicles, it doesn't sound like the grids are up to that demand. What do you make of it?
That's exactly right, Neil. Good to be with you. And you and I have been talking about this, and here we go again. I mean, here we go again. It's hot in California, and already, they're going to have to set their thermostats at almost 80 degrees. They want all this electricity for their electrical vehicles, but then at the same time, and of course, it's just reversed in the winter when it's very cold. And here you've got an administration that is taking out baseload, the kind of baseload that we provide. Coal-fired baseload, dependable, low cost, it's going to be there, the best environmental stewardship. And that's why, again, the Biden administration is handcuffing our energy producers, whether it's oil or gas or baseload, and you're seeing the ramifications. We have less energy. It means higher costs at the pump. It means higher costs in the grocery store. And remember, it's not just all of those factors. Energy security is national security. So for all these reasons, we've got to get back to a common sense approach that allows us to produce all these sources of energy. And that also then will enable us to address these issues with the grid.
Senator, maybe you can educate me on this, but in that climate change bill, inflation reduction bill, whatever they're calling it, ironically, there is support for traditional energy, or at least look for more oil or traditional energy in remote areas, including, in oceans, et cetera. Is that in there for good? And what are your worries if it isn't?
One of the things that we've worked very hard to get is the 45Q tax credit, which really helps the base load continue and deploy these new technologies that capture CO2. And that's what we're doing. Matter of fact, North Dakota, we're leading the nation. We have 2 coal-fired electric plants that are moving forward with carbon capture. We have a coal gasification facility. It actually takes coal, produces synthetic natural gas, fertilizer, and other products. And they're already moving forward with carbon capture. So that's the point I'm making. We can keep this base load in place and at the same time have the best environmental stewardship. And we need that energy, not only for the integrity of the grid, but just to meet the energy demand of our country and do it cost effectively and dependably.
That's apparently one of the reasons why Joe Manchin in the end voted for this, because it did provide those protections. But yet not a single Republican did, including yourself. What did you think of that?
But Neil, the problem is it's a big tax and spend bill. It never should have been in there. We fought to get these things in other places, and that's how to get it. As you know, this is a tax and spend monstrosity and should not have been passed.
Senator, while I have you here, your colleague, I guess the Senate boss on the Republican side, Mitch McConnell, was raising some serious doubts about maybe Republicans getting ahead of themselves about flipping the Senate in November. I want you to react to this, Mitch McConnell.
Probably a greater likelihood the House flips than the Senate. Senate races are just different. They're statewide. Candidate quality has a lot to do with the outcome. Right now we have a 50-50 Senate in a 50-50 country. But I think when all is said and done this fall, we're likely to have an extremely close Senate, either our side up slightly or their side up slightly.
I noticed in his remarks, Senator, was referring to his worries over candidate quality. And much has been said about some of the eventual Republican nominees to take back the Senate, that they might not be up to snuff and might not win and there and give whatever happens in the House, Republicans, a black guy trying to take over the Senate. What do you think?
We have good candidates. He's just talking about how it is very challenging to take back the Senate. We do, we're optimistic about the House. It is going to be more challenging in the Senate because we have far more races that we have to defend than the Democrats do. So I think he's being careful to make sure that everybody keeps their nose to the grindstone, really works hard, takes nothing for granted. But I think we do have good candidates. And on the issues, absolutely, we have the right side of the issues, whether it's this out of control spending, taxation, regulation, look at energy costs like we're talking about. How about border security, something you and I have talked about a lot, incredibly important. Law enforcement, support for our military. On all these issues, I think we're in strong shape.
All right, we'll have to follow closely. Senator, great catching up with you. Senator Hoeven from the beautiful state of North Dakota.